Hello students, welcome to our new video. In this video we are going to learn the second poem of our syllabus, that is Indian Weavers by Sarojini Naidu. In the previous video we have seen Song of the Open Road by Walt Whitman. In this poem we are going to deal with the new poem Indian Weavers. The poetess is Sarojini Naidu. So her lifespan is from 1879 to 1949. She was a very well-known freedom fighter. She was the first Indian woman to become the president of Indian National Congress. She was having a great contribution for Indian freedom struggle. She was the first woman to be the governor in independent India. When we talk about her literary contribution, she has been honored as the Nightingale of India. She is referred always in Indian writing in English as the Nightingale of India. Now this particular poem, having 3 stanzas, a very simple poem, philosophical poem. I'll read the poem first and then we'll go line by line. Listen it carefully. Weavers, weaving at break of day, why do you weave a garment so gay? Blue as the wing of a halcyon while we weave the robes of a newborn child. Weavers, weaving at fall of night, why do you weave a garment so bright? Like the plumes of a peacock, purple and green, we weave the marriage veils of a queen. Weavers, weaving solemn and still, what do you weave in the moonlight chill? White as a feather and white as a cloud, we weave a dead man's funeral shroud. Now you would have observed that this poem is in a question-answer pattern. The poetess asks questions to the weavers and the weavers give some replies. 3 stanzas are there, signifying 3 different times of a day. Now students, this is a very common observation in literature, that a day, the time of the days, is always compared with the human life. Even in Indian literature or in Western literature also, just like in metaphysical poetry by John Donne and some other poets also. So they have compared the day, means the morning, the afternoon, the evening and the night, compared to the human life, like birth, younger age, adulthood, old age and death. In the same fashion, this poem is dealing with human life. The very first stanza, when we deal, weavers weaving at break of day, why do you weave a garment so gay? Hey, the weavers are weaving at the break of day. The word break of day means the dawn, the beginning of our day. We can say early morning also. So one time she has mentioned in the first stanza that break of day, and at the same time the weavers are very happy at that time and they are weaving a garment, very beautiful garment, very charming. So they are very happy at the same time. The garment is also beautiful, charming. So the poetess asks, why do you weave a garment so gay? In reply, the weavers say, blue as the wing of a halcyon wild, we weave the robes of a newborn child. So what we are weaving? We are weaving a robe for a newborn child. And now how it is? It is blue as the wing of a halcyon wild. Now halcyon is a mythical bird, can be compared to the kingfisher because it is having the same color of its wings, that is blue. Now here blue signifies something precious, beautiful. Now they are weaving the robe for a newborn child, means this is the birth of human being, this is the beginning of the day. So here blue, the color they have chosen is because it is considered generally as a very precious, something very precious thing. Now it means that the human life is also precious. It is very beautiful also, because at the beginning our life is very beautiful. And one word they have used, that we weave the robes. Now robe is considered to some royal kinds of clothes. It simply means that when we enter in this world, we are very happy. We are like a king because everyone is at your service, and that's why they have used the word robes. Now here they have used only single color. The garment is in single color, that is blue. Why it is so? It is simply because at the beginning or in the childhood we don't have mixed kind of emotions. We are having only one emotion, that is happiness. We are enjoying the life, we are enjoying the things. Now the word blue here also signifies, as I've told you, that is concerned with royal, that is concerned with robes, and the same thing that they have used single color is referring to the single kind of emotion. So with this, the first stanza where the poetess deals with the birth of human being. In the second stanza, the weavers weaving at fall of night, why do you weave a garment so bright? Like the plumes of a peacock, purple and green, we weave the marriage veils of a queen. This one more time is mentioned here, that is the fall of night, means the evening time, the beginning of night. Weavers weaving at fall of night, why do we weave a garment so bright? Now this garment is bright, that's why the poetess asks, why do we weave a garment so bright? In answer, the weavers say, like the plumes of a peacock, purple and green, we weave the marriage veils of a queen. What we are weaving? We are weaving marriage veils of a queen. Veils means the dress which is used for marriage ceremony. Now the color is bright. It's like plumes of a peacock, because plumes of a peacock is having different colors, just like purple and green. Now in the first stanza there was only single color, and here we are having complex colors. Now we'll deal with the time. Weavers weaving at fall of night, that is the beginning of night. It means that is the dusk time, or when the sun is set. Now it is referring to the marriage. Now if you observe, in India, majority of the marriages take place by the evening time. It is also called as Goraj Muhurtam. At that time the marriages takes place, and here the poet is mentioning that time only, the fall of night. The garments are bright. It is simply because now we are having full of energy. And why do they are making, or they are weaving the garment in different colors? It is because now onwards our life is going to have a mixture of emotions. We will be happy, sometimes we will be sorrowful, sometimes we will be having tense. So it is a mixture of different emotions, because onwards we are having some responsibilities. So this signifies, many colors signifies the many emotions in our life. So this is the second time of the day, and that is the second part of our life also, that from this our life will be different than the childhood. Now in the third stanza when we move, weavers weaving solemn and still, what do you weave in the moonlight chill? White as a feather and white as a cloud, we weave a dead man's funeral shroud. Now this is the ending stanza of this poem. The weavers are now weaving. How they are? They are solemn and still. They are very serious. They are stable. Now in the previous two stanzas there is no mention of the emotions of the weavers, but in this stanza the weavers are solemn. He is describing the poet is describing the weavers also. They are solemn and still. And she is asking, what do you weave in the moonlight chill? Now this is already the moonlight. This is not the time for working. Already the chill night is there, very cold is there. So in this kind of unfavorable time, in unfavorable position, why are you weaving, or what are you weaving in that? What urgency you are having? So white as a feather and white as a cloud, we weave a dead man's funeral shroud. What they are weaving? They are weaving the funeral shroud, a cloth which is used to cover the dead body at the time of funeral. So we are weaving a funeral shroud for a dead man. And how it is? It is white as a feather and white as a cloud. Now white as a feather of a bird, it's white. Now here white also signifies colorless. It means that your life has become now colorless. It's white only. Now it is weightless also. That just like, because feather moves on the wind, so it is weightless. The same time white also signifies your old age. Your hairs become white in the old age. So it is in all sense, it is giving the meaning of the end of the life. So white as a feather and white as a cloud, they are comparing the color with the cloud also. Now why they have used the word cloud? Now cloud, as we know, are above. They are not related to earth. They are not connected with the earth. So it simply means that your earthly life is now over. They are going to enter in the another world which is above and which is closer to God. We consider that the God is above there in the sky. And so the cloud here tells that white as a cloud means they are as white as a cloud. It means they have now detached from this earth. They are going towards the God. So we weave a dead man's funeral shroud, and what we are weaving is the white cloth which is used to cover the dead man's body. Now here in all the three stanzas, what we see is, as I've told you earlier, that three parts of your life, that is your birth, your adulthood, and at the end, that is the death of your life, is your death. Now this is a very common practice in, as I've told you earlier, in Indian literature as well as in the Western literature also, that the human life is considered with a cloth also. With a cloth, at the same time, the life is differentiated, just like the day is differentiated between morning, afternoon, evening and night. In the same way, as we know, there is a very famous bhajan by Kabir, Chadariya Jhini Re Jhini. Here also Kabir compares the Chadariya, means the chadar, means the cloth, with human life. One more very famous song in Marathi also, एक धागा सुखाचा शंभर धागे दुःखाचे जरतारी हे वस्त्र मानवा तुझिया आयुष्याचे. Here also in that song, your life is compared with a cloth. Just like the cloth, your life is weaved with different kinds of threads, means different kinds of emotions, happiness, sorrow, tension, anger, mixed kind of emotions. So your cloth is your life. In the same way, this in this poem, the poet Sarojini Naidu tries to describe through a conversation with the weavers that how a human life is. Now, when we talk about the poetic devices used in this poem, as we know, 4 lines are there in each stanza, 3 stanzas are there. Those are rhyming lines. As we know, the rhyming pattern of this poem also, that is A, B, B, because if you observe in the first stanza, day rhymes with gay, while rhymes with child, means A and B, B. The same rhyming pattern is followed up to the end of this poem. Similes also used there, blue as the wing, then like the plumes of a peacock, white as a cloud, white as a feather. Alliteration is also used, that we weave, weavers weaving. So in many of the lines, this kind of alliteration we see. Imagery is also used in this poem, that is the break of the day, that is the beginning of your life, that is the dawn and all. So with this simplified poem, we have tried to understand the meaning of the poem. As I have told you earlier, this is a very philosophical poem which is telling us about the human life. So please don't forget to like, share, comment. If you are having any issues, any problems, any doubts, you can give your doubts in the comment box. I'll try to explain it. So please don't forget to subscribe it. Thanks a lot.